Jai Gurudev, and welcome to yet another wonderful summary of this Yoga Vasistha book. Today we will be seeing 26th of May till 1st of June, which is page number 147 to 153. And as we are going deeper into the book, the knowledge is getting more profound, and knowledge is getting more deep, and it is getting means Sage Vasistha is just cutting all the ways that the mind can escape from this knowledge, and he is bringing Rama back into that stage of where he can just experience the purest knowledge. And in this week's summary also, you will experience the same thing that we will discuss now. So if you remember, last time we had a discussion about the story of King Janaka, that King Janaka heard those wise words, and after that he was sorry, he was a little bit distressed and depressed, and then after that he contemplated on himself, that what is reality, what is not reality, what I should be doing, what I should not be doing. And then he realized after contemplating that his mind is a main problem, and then he went deep down and he became equanimous and centered, and he realized that he can function from there, and his mind will not get affected, his mind will not affect him. And then after that he continued his remaining rest of the life journey as a king, and was liberated. So after that now again, when we use the words he was liberated and all that, don't consider that there is something different happens to that person or anybody else. It is just like there is a purest form of existence is already there inside you. You just become aware of that, and you every now and then you become aware of that. However, being liberated means you liberate from non-existence and unreal form of yours, where you are getting stuck and where you are getting into the opposites. You are getting involved into the opposites. This is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, I should do this, I should not do this. That duality exists in those forms, like mind, body, intellect, the world. And when you withdraw yourself from that, and when you go deep into that witness consciousness, where I'm in myself, I'm there, at the same time I can see all those things happening in and around me, and I'm not getting swayed away by this. Now you always experience this stage every now and then, and this state gives you a lot of energy. This is the peaceful state of mind. Liberation means just establishing into this state for 24/7 and not letting the mind take over our thing. And it is actually in this book only, in this today's summary only, we will see that what are the different ways that we can establish into that. So let us start. Having reached the understanding already described, Janaka functioned as a king and did all was necessary without getting deferred, and with the great strength of the mind and spirit. In fact, he moved about and as if we were continuously in the state of deep sleep. This is very important. There is another page also, there is a reference of the deep sleep. Just for that, for the fraction of the second, if you just take yourself back and just imagine you are right now into the deep sleep, and you don't know everything is happening around you, and you just keep going back into that state. And then whatever is happening, though you are aware, don't get involved into that. In deep sleep, we don't know what's happening. We are completely gone. We forgot our all the identities, all the things happening around us. The same way, you have to just withdraw yourself, just be in there and just witness and watch yourself. Everything is happening, but not get involved into that. In that state, you will see that the things around you will function automatically the way it should function. You will speak whatever you are supposed to speak. You will hear whatever you are hearing, but those words will not affect you that much, because you will be able to ignore them, and you will be able to just pick up the few words from whatever the other person is saying, where he is really or she is really needing some help, guidance, or conversation. You will see so many things, but it will not go deep into your mind, because you will just ignore that. There will not be any sense which will be like throbbing or pleasing some pleasing some desire or craving to be fulfilled. That's the right way of putting it. And then like that, you will just function, everything is there in this world. The light of the self-knowledge, Chit Atma, arose in his heart. And then free from the least taint of impurity and sorrow, even the sun arises on the horizon. Even as the sun arises on the horizon. And then he just continues. Janaka became liberated one while still living, Jivan Mukta, remaining forever in the consciousness of the infinite. He experienced the state of non-action, and through the appearance of the other to be ever busy in, and even though he appeared to others to be even ever busy in diverse actions. So this is a beautiful sentence. Any person apologies, any person who is established deep into his sense of being, and he has realized that non-duality inside, it appears for the outside person, oh, he or she just functioning normal duties, then what is different between them? But deep inside, they are unattached with all their actions. Actions on the level of the mind, actions on the level of the words, actions on the level of the senses, actions on the level of the body. All those things are functioning and happening, but they know there is a big purification happening when the data, the knowledge or the experiences are going in through the senses. If that is making a sense, they don't take everything that way it is coming to them. They just take whatever is required, and the unrequired thing, they just let it go. And that's why that purity is maintained inside, that stability is maintained inside. And though they do all those things, they are always into that state. They are functioning from that state. In our life, generally what happens when we are talking to person, we become that person, we take those vibes, we take those emotions, and we start behaving like that. The person is upset or angry with something, they say something, and then we take that and we start working on that. So that is the difference between the one who is Jivan Mukta, like means he is Jivan, but he is free from that. He is free from that his things. Yes. Self-knowledge or the knowledge of the truth is not had by resorting. You will not get this. Now this is very important. Now pay attention here. Self-knowledge or the knowledge of truth is not had by resorting to a guru, nor by study of scriptures, nor by good work. It is attained only by the means of inquiry inspired by the company of the wise and holy men. So please understand, it is not saying that you should not have a guru, or you should not be bowing down to guru, or you should not follow the guru. What is a guru? Guru is nothing but that embodied pure knowledge in the body form. So it is in the initial stages, and even after the initial stages also. Why after the initial stages? I will tell you that as well. In the initial stages, you need that guidance. You do not have the control your mind. You do not have the control your life force. You do not have the control over things you should do, you should not do. That, and you don't know knowledge as well. You do not have any understanding about your own state of purity, who you really are. Okay, so you need all those people around you, master, guru, wise men, and then they tell you what to do, how to be, and what path to follow. And then once you do that, after a long period of time, you realize, and when you start realizing that non-dual state inside you, then that becomes your real guru guiding you. And then the person who has been guiding there and who has been guru, you also see the part of that in that. Everything is one. No one is separate. And then that devotion, because once you know deep inside from within yourself that you and the guru who was outside you, whom you are bowing down in the physical form, is not different. It is just the same infinite consciousness which is reflecting in him. Only it is reflecting in him or her in 100%. In me, it is 1 or 2%. It goes, it comes back. It goes, it comes back. I do not have the control of reaching to that state and establishing in that state for 100% and 24/7. And he is there. She is there. So that's why the relation started, and that's why the guidance started, and then you started walking on the path. Once you realize everything is one, then after that, though you will not see your guru, though you will not meet your guru, though you will not need the techniques that you have been following with him, everything will drop down again. You will not become egoistic and you will leave it and you will say, I know it all. It is a very beautiful, profound and different state to imagine also. Forget about the experience. You will become one, and then the devotion is 100%. You are 100% 24/7 devoted to your master, your guru, because you know it is not separate. Your actions are 100% working towards the work of the guru, because you know, if I can get this knowledge, then everybody should get this knowledge. Then you start working towards that. That ego sense is gone, and then you are just working for the sake of doing, and all the actions are spontaneously. So that's why it said. But if you keep going down, going to the people, sadhus and santas and mahatmas, and just keep going down and just keep taking their blessings and just keep asking their problems and just keep taking the solution, that is, he is saying, no, that is not what you will get, the self knowledge. You will get few things, you will get few blessings, but not the real knowledge. Real knowledge will only come by the means of inquiry inspired by the wise men. When the wise men ask you, like this discussion is happening between Vasistha and Rama, that is what he is not asking him to bow down, he is not asking him to do any prayers, he is not asking him to take the fasting. He is just telling him, this is the pure knowledge, Rama, get your mind back again and again to this state. And that is what is the inquiry inspired by the wise men. Defect, desires and evils do not even approach that man of wisdom whose mind is undiluted, because your mind, you're just step back behind your mind. Your mind is functioning. Please do not go on the trip of killing your mind and making your mind completely without a thought or thoughtless. It will never happen, because mind exists because the thoughts are there, thought exists because the mind are there. No matter you will reach to the state of liberated or enlightenment, then also your mind will get the thoughts. You will have the choice to act or not act on those thoughts. So be very clear that don't get on that trip of getting rid of the pain from your body, getting rid of the thoughts from your mind. Don't do that. Just go to the purest state. Every time you understand, you realize, you find the way, and you start witnessing your own thoughts, and it will start clearing the things. Through wisdom, that is in the inner light, the entire world is clearly seen as it is. Neither good fortune nor misfortune even approach one who has such a clear vision. So neither good fortune, neither misfortune. That means you will not get swayed if a lot of money will come to you, a lot of fame will come to you. You will not be worried if all the fame will be gone, all the money will be gone. That's what he's saying, you know. Thus, do the inquiry into the nature of the self, even Janaka did. Neither God, nor rites, nor rituals, or any action, nor wealth, nor relatives are of any use in this. To those who are afraid of world delusion, only self-effort and self-inquiry is capable of bringing about the self-knowledge. We discussed that already. When the limited and the conditional feeling of I am so and so ceases, there arises consciousness of all-pervading infinite. Then you have to just drop it. I am this, I am this. Whatever you are talking, whatever label you are putting after you say I am, just keep dropping that. Considering for some time I don't want that. For some time I don't want that. It is not going to go anywhere else. It is going to stay with you also. So don't be worried about that. You are just doing the exercise to free your ego sense and experiencing the purest form of your subtle first ego sense that has arisen. Yes, I corrected right. If you want, you can repeat it and hear it again. But that's how it is. So you have to just keep dropping that extra layers and tags you have put it on yourself, and then you will start becoming pure and pure. And whatever is there for you will always stay for you. Whatever is not there for you, right now also it is not required, but it is the illusion that is created by the mind that you want that, so it will go away. So he who knows that I am not, nor does the other exist, nor is there non-existence, and The mental activity has thus comes to the standstill. So see, I am not what I think I am in this body form, in this behavior form. So that is not my ultimate reality, because it always disappears at deep sleep. If I am not, then the other person is also not, because if I am experiencing something in this body mind I consciousness complexity, and then I know that is not the real truth, then that is also same for the other person. So stop getting stuck with your behaviors, your ideas, your understanding, and your mind and your body. Stop getting stuck with others' ideas, other behavior, others' mind and body things functioning. You did that. After that, he said, nor is there non-existence. And again, everything has come from this. So everything is a part of this. Everything is functioning because of that base of that purity inside. Your body will not be there. Body is called dead body. Mind is called dead mind, because of this energy force, that life force coming from that infinite consciousness. We are existing. So everything is not that, but everything is that. So he has just covered both the things. So this is why truth is called contradictory, and truth is difficult to understand, because we want to take just one stand. Either it is there or it is not there. No, it is there also, it is not there also. Only the process of recognizing it requires that you should leave all those which is not real and establish into the reality. Once you established into the reality, you start realizing, oh my goodness, that I was calling till yesterday non-real is also part of this reality. And because of that non-reality, I am experiencing this reality. Because once that non-reality is gone, even the reality cannot be experienced. And that's what exactly happens in a deep sleep. This non-reality is not there. That's why the reality is also not perceived and experienced. You just get the idea after you get up. This is very important. This, if you can get it, oh my goodness, you will be blown by it. So just keep listening to this again and again. The mind does not reach to the state of utter equanimity till these two impurities, acquisition and rejection, raga and dvesha, or I want this and I don't want this, all these things, till you're free from that, until and unless you will. And as long as one feels this is real and this is unreal, again, you're not saying this is real, this is not unreal, you are just going to be there and experiencing and witnessing the happening that is happening right now. Also, what is happening? You're listening to this. It is just a happening. Don't get attached. I am listening, I am understanding, he is saying, and this is, just drop it. In pure knowledge, in pure consciousness, in final consciousness, neither you are there, neither I am there. It is just a happening. In this body form, the knowledge is getting said. In that body form, the knowledge is getting consumed. That's it. Both the body forms are dropped. Knowledge is as it is. It was there hundreds and thousands of years back. It is there now. It will there after that as well. So don't get involved or attached to this also, that who is saying, what is saying, I am understanding, not understanding, I have to change the world, I have to change myself. Drop all your ideas. Just be into the pure knowledge. Desirelessness, absence of all expectations, fearlessness, unchanging steadiness, equanimity, wisdom, non-attachment, non-action, goodness, total absence of perversion, courage, endurance, friendliness, intelligence, contentment, gentleness, pleasant speech. All these qualities are natural to the one who is free from the instinct of acquisition and rejection, and even those qualities are non-residential, non-intentional, and spontaneous. So all those things are already there as a part of this consciousness. Because of those qualities, everything in this world has come into the appearance. So many diversity, so many people, so much knowledge, so much of intellect, so much of ideas and everything. Where does it come from? It comes from all those basic good qualities which are inherent, already there inside us. So take it for granted. You are the most compassionate person in that state. You are the most friendly person. You are the most gentle person. You are the most wise person. You are the most knowledgeable person. Take it all for granted, because we have to just touch and establish into that state. That's it. And then this just naturally happens. And after that, those people never said, oh, see how I did, how much compassionate I am, oh, see how much gentle I am. No dramas. It just happens. One should restrain the mind from flowing downward, even if the river is blocked by the construction of the dock. And then it's just given the example of you should not let the mind flow into the negative things and all that. You are the knower of all, the self. You are unborn. You are supreme Lord. And then he has just given the what you really are. So he who knows this, all those things, is a yogi, and he who is confirmed in his conviction that the infinite consciousness alone exists is instantly free from the thoughts of pleasure and is therefore tranquil and self-control. Here is another hint. Listen carefully. He who is confirmed in his conviction that the infinite consciousness alone exists. Now, there are two stages. Either you experience the infinite consciousness and then you get the conviction, or you take it for granted and you be in conviction that you are infinite consciousness and start walking towards that. Are you getting? You, like in happiness programs, you just consider yourself you are happy and start doing everything from that state of mind. You want to buy a car because you are happy. Don't think the car will give you happiness. The same way, in this is a pure knowledge, so it's the same way here twisted. Take it for granted and have that strong conviction deep inside that I am that infinite consciousness. I'm functioning from this body. And then you will realize, oh my goodness, look at that. All those things are happening. Don't wait for the experience to happen, because then there is an experiencer and there is an experience. What we have to do, we have to drop everything and become one with the experience. Don't wait for this knowledge to dawn in you, because there is a knower and there is a knowledge. Again, you are in duality. So stop doing that and just go deep into that state. I am infinite consciousness. How will I function? How I am doing? Everything is mine. The world is mine. All these people are mine. They are just into different bodies. A different shift will happen. Not immediately, not today. With the conviction and with this thought for few months, every day, write it down somewhere. Read it every morning, before sleeping, when you get up. And then you will realize something different is happening inside, because you are directly touching with that inner source, which is the source of everything. And then something will start happening all of a sudden. Just a subtle practice, Keep doing whatever you are doing. Please don't stop everything and don't go into the secular place or something. Just continue your function. This is the extra practice on the level of the mind. You are doing it. Consciousness minus conceptualization is the eternal Brahman. It is the same Brahman. When it got stuck into the concept and thinks this is I want this, it is mind. Once it's free from that, it is pure Brahman. Consciousness plus conceptualization is a thought. But the mind is always thinking and coming out with all those things. It's nothing but the conceptual understanding of the world. When the inner intelligence is not awakened, it is not really know or understand anything, and what appears to be known through the thoughts of is of course not the reality. Ignorance people misconstrue the movement of the life force to be the mind, but in fact it is nothing more than the prana or the life force. Now here is going to talk a little bit more deep about the life force and all that. So understand, the intelligence that identifies itself with a certain movement of the life force in the self is known as jiva, the living soul, and the intelligence, jiva, etc. are the names given to that. And in truth, there is no mind, no intelligence, no embodied being, no self, and self is alone exists at all the time, because it is extremely subtle and it seems not to exist, though it exists. So he said, with that, okay, how does this whole thing go? If you ask me, now you imagine and intellectually understand. That's the first step. That is, we will call it as a Shravana, and then you contemplate not that. Keep thinking all the time. That is called Manana, and then Nididhyasana. It will start becoming your understanding more deeper on the things, that how the things are. So the first step, Shravana. Listen carefully. Like the space is there and space is not affected. So that is the pure consciousness. In that space, all of a sudden there was a little bit of movement happen, and that movement decided, okay, in the particular round space, we will have this round sphere, we will have this space little bit concise around this round sphere, and we will like to know about that. We will call it as the earth. So there is a space which is not affected by this movement, but the earth is thinking that the space around it is its and it want to know it. That's why the earth is born. And then in that earth, small things is born. Houses, one house, two house, three house, one building. Ultimately it is still space, and that space is not getting affected by all those things. And all those things are thinking it is different because it is away from the space and there are borders in between. I have created this wall, I have created that wall, I created roof, so this is my space, this is your space. So the illusion is here, illusion is not here. The space is not affected. If tomorrow the earth will go away, the space will be as it is. So this is how the thing is, that there is a pure consciousness. In that pure consciousness, there is a infinite consciousness, pure consciousness, absolute, whatever you call it. Individual consciousness or a certain level of consciousness has arisen which wants to know itself. It itself is called Brahman, because from that Brahman everything is created. And the thought arises with the life force. Then the elements arises with the elements, with the life force, with the consciousness, and with that energy coming from the infinite consciousness. Then the elements started producing itself into the different forms and different shapes. And then how the whole creation of the living things created. If you want to know there are lots of documentaries on YouTube or anywhere that tells you how the evolution process happened. And then 2.5 million years ago, then from the monkeys or apes, the erected monkeys happened, and then the brain developed, and then the purest form of the living beings happened to be the men, the woman, means human beings. And then out of the human beings, then that because of the continuous development and the change in the brain, change in understanding, changes happening, we reach to that state that we got that ability to reach to that infinite consciousness and experience this. Are you getting? This is like a big journey that has happened. It has happened unknowingly, unconsciously, without anybody doing that. So don't be proud of that as well. Forget about that. What you should be working on is, now you got this blessing and ability, then how can you experience that and make a better use of whatever you have been given, your body, your mind, your intellect, whatever, So that's why it was saying like that, Then a thought arising into the supreme being is known as individual consciousness. Like we say, it just become individual and wanted to know itself. By the control of the life force, the mind is also restrained, even as the shadow ceases when the substance is removed. The mind ceases when the life force is restrained. And this is where all our techniques of the breathing comes in. You are basically just not controlling, you are just basically guiding or making that life force restraining or the controlling of the life force. And it is difficult to work on the life force. It is very closely attached to the breath. That's why the breathing techniques are there, to control the free flow of the mind, we can call free flow, or the whatever the natural flow of the mind, and just coming it back. If you just stop your breath, you will see your mind is stopped. Try it. So your breath is directly attached to the mind, So breath is directly attached to the mind, and life force is attached to the breath. So breath is that middle thing which is there, which you can work on. It is not the subtlest form. It is in the tangible form that you can work on. And that's why all these amazing pranayams and breathing techniques and all these kriyas and all those things has come out. Because that is what is the real source you can hold on, the tool you can hold on to go deep inside, to get out of the mind, concepts and all that. This relationship between the life force and the consciousness is also imaginary. If it is not so imagined, there are no world appearance. The life force, by its association with the consciousness, become conscious and experiences this world. Life force, mind, breath, senses, body, experience of the world. Okay, the mind is inert and not the real entity, hence it is forever dead. Yet beings in the world are killed by beings in this world are killed by this dead thing, How mysterious is this stupidity? So there is no existence of the mind, but the whole world is working because of this non-existent entity called mind. So this is like a big mysterious thing he's saying. My teaching is not to be meant for those, listen carefully, O Rama, whose intelligence has not yet silenced by the firm faith into the reality of this illusory world and the consequent striving for the pleasures of the world. What foolish man will endure to show the colorful forest? So he's just saying that those people who has not worked hard on themselves with all those techniques or with the contemplation or with the self-inquiry, their intellect is not yet pure. They will not understand this. This is one of the very important reasons that I have seen many people starting Yoga Vasistha and walking away from Yoga Vasistha. Don't be disheartened. You are not the one. I have seen so many people walking on this path for a long time. Yet when it comes to the book like Yoga Vasistha, it is shaky because it challenges everything that you consider you are. Once you cross that, oh my goodness, everything in this world is easy for you. You know, knowledge is a piece of cake because you are established into the knowledge. You will not worry about knowledge. When you establish into the knower is not worried about what knowledge he has or he don't have. It is already there, you know. What indeed is a jiva, but the word which is deferred by the intelligence of people. Even the infinite or the individualized consciousness is unreal fancy. What can I do with it? Seeing the faith of the ignorant people who are suffering because of the mind that they have fancied into the existence, where's the truth which alone exists, I am filled with pity. So you can only be compassionate about yourself because you are stuck in this life. And once you start realizing the truth, you can only be compassionate about the others because they're stuck. And you can help them. You cannot get angry, upset, impatient, because this is not how it works. And all these sages and all that, see, in our life, you know, they never got impatient. They just did whatever they were supposed to do, and then they left their body and went away. Someone else came. The world is keep going on. No one in this world can make this world the purest form. Forget about that. If that is your idea, I'm going to change the world. No, don't change the world. It is absolutely fine the way it is. You exist, I exist. You don't exist, I don't exist. You just understand who you are. Once you understand who you are, you will, whatever you will do will be helpful for this world. Trust me. Then the wise do endeavor to remove the sorrow of those who have been conquered their mind, who have conquered their mind, and who was therefore ripe unto. Yeah, then how the people help. It has been just given on page number 152. You know, when objectivity arises in your consciousness, the latter becomes conditioned and limited. That is bonded, and when objectivity is abandoned, you become mindless, and that is liberated. We already talked about that. When the self forgetfully identify itself with the objects seen and experienced and is thus impurified, there arises a poison of craving. Now you are getting attached with the objects. What is craving? Don't make it a big issue of the cravings as well. Craving is nothing but your mind is stuck with that object, and your mind seeks pleasure only when you get that object. That is craving, that is desire. So you just become aware. This craving intensifies delusion, because that is making you delusion. That is what your focus is there. So your focus is not who you really are. So that's very common sense. Okay, whatever terrible suffering or calamities there in this world are all the fruits of cravings. Remaining unseen and subtle, this craving is yet able to consume the very flesh, bone, blood of the body. In the moment it seems to be subside, the next moment it is into the expanded shape. Whenever you follow all those rituals and path and meditation, contemplation, all those things, then you feel that you are pure and the craving has gone away, it is dropped. But when the craving arises, it is so powerful, because the base of the craving, the energy that is coming from the craving is from the infinite consciousness. So it has to be that much powerful. Just see the opposites happening. Once you are established peacefully, once you are established into the cravings and require those objects. So both are the states for the infinite consciousness. The space is not affected with what happening on the earth space. War is happening, prayers are happening, it is not affected, it is there. Once you reach to that space, if you go into the satellite and see whatever is happening in the earth, you will be unaffected. You will say, "Ah, it's just happening, see people are fighting, or see people are praying, I don't care, I'm just here." Like that, it happens like that, sorry, not the right way of saying I don't care, I'm here, but oh, I'm here and how can I help them? That's the next step. Yes, and it automatically happens, like we say, because naturally it is established into you, like how to be compassionate, helpful, friendly, like we discussed before. Now, when these cravings have ceased, one's life force becomes pure and all the divine qualities and virtues enter into one's heart. And then again, don't go on the trip of, generally you will not, but I'm just saying, people go on the trip of getting those powers. I want this siddhi, I want that siddhi. The siddhis and the powers also has got some base existence from that infinite consciousness. Why you want that when everything is yours? Why you want to be limited your thing with this power and that power? Give it away. Whatever has to happen and come to you will come with you, stay with you for some time, it will go away. Like this is also in one kind of say, if you see power, that you are sitting there, you are listening to this and you are understanding this is also power, this is also siddhi, but after some time it will go away, you will not need this also. The same way, whatever is coming to you, coming for some time and then is going away. Then Lord Rama asked, last page of today's discussion, 153, 1st of June. Lord, you instruct me to abandon the ego sense and the craving that it gives rise to. If I abandon the ego sense, then surely I should also give up this body and all that is based on the ego sense. For the body and the life force rest on the support of the ego sense. When the root is cut, the tree will fall down. How it is possible for me to abandon the ego sense and yet to live? He is in a confused state. We discussed that. We have clear understanding now that you can still be space and not get affected by what's happening on the space on the earth. But Rama unfortunately still don't know that. Now Vasistha will help him. Abandonment of all the notions, Vasistha is saying, conditioning and conceptualization is said to be of two kinds. This is very important. One is based on the knowledge or direct realization and the other is based on the contemplation. And I shall tell you in the details. So one should become aware of one's deluded notions in which he thinks I belong to this object and the world and blah 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 and all that. Then by profound inquiry one contemplates I do not belong to those objects, nor do these objects belong to me. Thus abandoning the ego sense through intense contemplation, one should playfully engage oneself into the actions that happen naturally, one with the heart on and the mind ever full in tranquil. Your heart and mind is in centralized. And then such an abandonment of the ego sense and the conditioning is known as contemplative egolessness. So he's just asking you to just understand whatever you think yourself as. Do this exercise. I am so and so, I am so and so. Every time you write down I am, write down the different identity or the thing that you think about yourself. I'm a man, I'm Vivek, I'm this many years old, I'm intelligent, I'm doing this, I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm not intelligent, I'm not fit, I'm sick. And whatever positive or negative, don't think about things. Whatever right or wrong, don't think about this. Whatever comes in your head or has comes in your head and stuck in your head that this is what you are, just write down the whole list. Now, if you just remove everything after I am, you remain into that pure state of I am. And then that is what he is calling as an egolessness. When there is a knowledge or direct experience of the non-dual truth, then again with this contemplation we reach to that level. Okay, you did this exercise or you are doing this, listening to this and talks and understanding yourself, the duality of the mind and all that. Otherwise he is saying you just go back and bank. You just think I'm in a deep sleep state. And then you just enter into that non-dual state so easily and so quickly if we keep practicing. This is not like, oh bang, it will happen, but you have to just keep practicing. Once it will be 1 second experience, half a second experience, and then you will start establishing to that little bit longer. And here also he has talked about deep sleep, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. When there is a knowledge or direct experience of the non-dual truth, one abandons the ego sense and the conditioning and entertains no feeling of this is mine, even with regard to the body. This is known as the direct relation, even with regard to the body. So this body is also not you. Body is actually the biggest obstacle. Don't start hating your body. It is very good, because you're stuck since childhood. We have been bombarded with the people around us and this society and the social interaction we had, that you are this, you are this, you are this, you are this. And that's why once you start thinking, I'm not this body, then how come I exist? I'm not this body, then do I exist? Oh yes, I'm existing. I can feel myself inside me. And then you start slowly getting detached with the body. It's very difficult to detach from the body. So it's very important first step. He is liberated even while living who playfully abandons the ego sense through the contemplative method. He who uproots this ego sense completely by the direct experience is established into equanimity. He is liberated. Janaka and the others like him follows the contemplative method that we already discussed. He was thinking, and he was getting rid of his mind. Others who have direct experience of the egolessness are one with the Brahman and have risen beyond the body consciousness. However, both of them are liberated and both have become one with Brahman. So direct experience or the contemplation method. He is considered a liberated sage who is not swayed by the desirable or undesirable. Now, it is just a state inside you he's talking about, not any particular body form or not any particular gender. So understand that inside you also there is a state which is liberated, which is not swayed by the desirable or undesirable. In that state, you will live in this world and function through the inwardly, totally untouched by the world, as if you are in a deep sleep. At the Sage Vasistha said this, another day came to end and the assembly dispersed. So this is the end of today's discussion. A lot of knowledge has been shared by Sage Vasistha, and according to my understanding, according to my experience, a little bit of slowly, whatever way I can explain it to you. So the best way is understand whatever I'm telling you, and contemplate, think, challenge. You can challenge whatever I'm saying also. You can challenge book also. Doesn't matter. It is not going to make me hurt. It is not going to make book hurt. What is you have to do is you have to just find the way out, way in, by giving up whatever is you think is out. So okay, on that note, we will end here. Take care. I will see you next time. I will send the message for the next 5-6 pages what we are reading in coming book. Till then, take care. Jai Gurudev.